Hi guys! Welcome back to Ventology by Lola. Okay guys, I thought I'd mix it up a little bit since I've mostly been doing books lately. I did do the flower tutorial, but I thought I would show you something else that I was working on. A while back I told you that I had ordered some seam binding, and I had also dyed some seam binding. And so I said, eventually I will show you what I made. Well, I've been dinking around, and all I made were some tassels, and they're super simple. So I just wanted to show you what I used for them before I showed you. So I got some beads. Well, I have, I shouldn't say I got some beads. I have tons of beads, but you do need some chunkier big beads. So I have some big pretty beads that I picked up some more, and I have some charms, and I have some spacer beads, and this was just one I wanted to show you. And then I like to buy these whenever these go on sale at Joann's or Hobby Lobby or Michael's. And these are nice to put with your tassels because they're ready to go, and I'll show you why in a second. But I love these pre-done ones. I know that they truly are not rosary beads, but that's what I always think of are rosaries. If you're Catholic, you know what a rosary is. And if you're not Catholic, you don't know what a rosary is. But that's what it reminds me of, is rosary beads, because they're all put together. And so I use that. Okay, so we use beads. I use wire, and I would love to tell you what gauge this is, but it came in a box with a bunch of other wire that I can't remember, and it didn't have any markings on it. Literally, there are no markings on it, so I don't know the gauge. I'm gonna say that it might be 20 gauge though, if I had to guess. Okay, and then I use this old vintage ball jar, and I stuff my seam binding in here, and this is like just some of my seam binding. This is more of the colors that I use. So I literally, when I say stuff, I mean it is stuffed in there, and then I just pull out what I need. But it keeps it nice and wrinkled, which is what I like. So I keep it there, and I keep it on my desk, and it's very accessible, but I can also see the colors that I need. So it's like, it works for everything. It's close at hand, it's wrinkled, and it's easy to get to. Okay, so that's what I did, and this is what I made, people. Now, this is not my idea. It came from, oh gosh, and you guys, I thought, oh, I'll just quick put this video up, and of course I can't remember her name. Let me see if I can find her really quick, okay? So hang with me for 1 second. Let me see if I can find her. It's, oh, Craft Creations. Craft Creations. She is the one who showed her video, and she had done this. Now, she said that she found someone else who did this, so you'll have to go to Craft Creations to see who she got the idea from, but I got the idea from Craft Creations, and I loved it. I thought this was a great idea because I have so much seam binding. So here, let's get to the chase. Here is one of mine. Well, here, I'll just put them out here, and then we'll go through them, okay? Because I kind of did them. They were so fun, you guys, and so incredibly easy. So I did not use a head pin. I did not use jump rings. And you will see that everybody has a different way of making tassels. My way of making tassels, I think, is super easy. I think everyone thinks their way is easy, but my way, I think, is super easy because you don't have to monkey around with the head pins. You don't have to monkey around with jump rings, which when I first started making them, that was a tutorial that I had followed, and I thought, I am not doing it. There is no way I am going to be trying to get on a teeny tiny little jump ring. I am not going to be doing the head pins and trying to get my beads on. So that is why I use wire. So here's my first one, and it is green, and it's got it kind of, I call this one Emerald City, because it looks like Emerald City. I bought these from AliExpress, and they, I'm not gonna lie, that is the cheapest place in town to buy them. And they're not really in town, but the cheapest place to buy them. And then I put a teeny tiny little heart on it. Hearts are kind of my thing, if you don't know that. I love hearts. And then I always add some sort of dangling charm or something to my tassel. That is kind of my trademark. I don't like just the fibers, I like to put something in it. So that's what I did with that one. Just a pearl. My brown one. And this, I believe, was also AliExpress. Almost, and you guys, I have a lot of beads. I would love to say, oh yeah, I can tell you where I got my beads from. Sure, yeah, well, we'd all be living in a fantasy if I could tell you where I got my beads from. Let's just say that they're either Hobby Lobby, Joann's, Michael's, Garage. I've even gotten some from Garage Sale, and even repurposed jewelry. So let's just say go with what you like. Okay, that's what I'm going to tell you. Go with what you like, but you do need a chunky bead. I did not use a chunky bead for a couple of mine. I personally like the chunky beads. You don't have to use a chunky bead. So you'll get to see with the chunky bead and without a chunky bead. So here's that. And here's what I was talking about when I said I liked what I call the rosary beads, is it's ready to go. So it's just ready. You just put it on at the bottom there, and then I add a little charm. And that was the brown and the beige. So this is perfect for a junk journal. Just very vintagey. And then I did pink. Now this one was the first one I did, and this one just says made with love, and it's got pearls, and it's got, I always try to add a little tie up here, because then it actually hides any mistake that you have up at the top where you are wire wrapping. I'm okay at wire wrapping. I'm not going to say I'm really great at wire wrapping, but this little tiny piece of seam binding covers a multitude of sins, and it looks very sweet because it ties the eye from here back down to the bottom, kind of that focal thing that we talk about in art. I loved these beads. I love them. I can't remember where I bought them from, but they are gorgeous because they go with every single pink you own. I put this one handmade with love. I think I said that. And then here is my charm inside of this one, and this one was kind of chunky. So I put a butterfly, and I put in pink, and I put in a whole bunch of little pieces, dingly danglies, okay? And then put that inside. So that is that one, okay? And then here's another green one. This one's just a different style, but it does have the Emerald City, and it's just got a different bottom piece. And these I bought, and those were already beaded, so I didn't have to do anything with that piece. So that was nice. Here's another pink one. This is pink and gold and silver. I like to mix up my colors for gold, silver, and rose gold. I think it looks really yummy. I know some people like to just use straight gold, straight silver. Again, it's totally what you like. So most of this is silver, but then my charm actually has a little script on it, and I know that this is Joann's, and then I put a teeny tiny little silk flower on the bottom. So this is much more romantic. This would be like for a bride. This would be really pretty for a bridal book. So there's that. And I had to do purple because there are so many people who love purple, and I know I'm in the land of purple with everyone loving the Vikings. Not me. Totally Packers, but I don't have any Packer colors. Okay, so same thing here. This was a really simple one. Okay, this was one of the first ones I made, and I did use a head pin. So I did not have the ability to put on a whole bunch like when I used the wire. You can see the difference. This was the head pin. This is the wire. So it gives me the ability to put much more on with the wire. Okay, so when you use... Okay, let me finish and then I'll tell you how they're done. Okay, so then there's this one, and then for the charms inside of this one I did a whole bunch. So I did a heart on a dangling garment pin. I did keys, pearls, bows. I did rhinestones. This one was just because this part up here, the beading part, was so simple, I decided to do a lot of foo-foo for the inside of the charm. So that was kind of how I worked that one out. So there's that one. And then there's this one with the star at the top. And then there's that beautiful bead I love again. And then this one, I must not have finished this one. because I don't have, nope, I didn't finish this one. This one I must have started and didn't finish. Okay, I'll put that one to the side. Okay, and then I did this one, and I like this one. This one's very simple, but it turned out very sweet. And for this one, you can see this one, I did this one, I did a cluster, or what I actually what I call these. I don't know that they're called these. I named these cha-cha. These are my cha-cha beads, okay? Cha-cha-cha-cha. And so those are on the outside, so there's nothing inside. It's everything is on the outside, and it looks, so I made a whole bunch of one bead, and then I put it onto a charm, or not, I'm sorry, not on a charm, on a chain that has like just 3 links, and then I put them all on there, and then I stuck it on to the wire, and then I put the pearl on, and then I have a rondelle around there, and the rondelles work really nice too. And then there's 2 little beads up at the top, and I kind of like the purple with this kind of gold and pink up there. I wasn't sure I was going to like it. So those are the ones that I made. So what is the difference, you guys say, between using a head pin, which, do I have a head pin here that I can show you? Oh, let me see. Oh, I'm so sorry, you guys. Do I not have a head pin? Let me see. All right, hang on. I'm looking for a head pin. Okay, here. Here we go. Okay, I thought it was ready. Okay, this is a head pin. Okay, so this is my container of head pins. Okay, so this is a head pin, right? And usually if you were starting to do this, you wouldn't even use a head pin. You would use a pin that you would use an eye pin, which has a little hook on the bottom, which of course, is there one in here? Let me see if there's any in here. Doesn't even look like I have one in here, you guys. Looks like these are all my head pins. Okay, well, sorry. Anyway, the difference is one has a hook on, one has just an eye on the end, so you can put a dangle on the bottom, and one is just flush and just has an end just like this, like a pin. So it looks just like a pin. That's why it's called a head pin. Okay, makes sense. So you would string your pearls on here like I did for this one, right? So it's very short, and you would do that. And then what you would do is you would have it so that in order for you to do this, you would use a jump ring, and then with your eye pin, because it has an eye on it, you would open up the eye pin and put it into the jump ring. So as I'm explaining this, I'm feeling like I need to show you. So give me 1 second, and let me get a jump ring. Okay, here we go. I really was not going to show you guys, but I kind of feel like I need to explain the difference really quick. Okay, so here are my gold ones. Here's what we're talking about. Okay. So see the difference? Here's the flat one. Here's the eye pin. One looks like an eye, one looks like the head, okay? So this is what you would use when string your beads. String your beads on there. And then you would use, I'll use a bigger jump ring. And once you have your ribbon all decided and gathered up and ready to go, you would take this jump ring and you would gather up all of your seam binding, and you would put it all inside of this. Yes, this is why I chose not to do this. You put it all inside of this little jump ring, okay? Then you attach the jump ring to the head ring, or to the eye pin, okay? So then it goes like this, all right? So just imagine that it's got the, I'm not going to do it because it is just way too hard on camera. So imagine that I have this, and now this is all dangling from this, okay? Then you've got all the beads on there. Now you have to turn this, okay? Now you're going to add some sort of clip to it, and you're going to turn it, and you're going to do a wire wrap. Well, plus you've got all this that you're hanging on to as well. So I said, forget it. Okay, so my way of doing it, forget all of this. I just take a piece of wire, cut off a piece of wire, take my seam binding, take it up through here, twist it like this, do it nice and neat, okay, like this, cut it off. I'm just going to use my Timmy scissors for now. Cut it off. Now I've got a piece probably about 8 inches. This is still a little short. Put my beads on here. This is all ready to go. If I'm going to put on my charms, I would have put my charms on so that I've got a little bit of space down here so I can add my charms down in here. If I'm going to put charms off of here, or if I'm going to put charms off of here, I just slide them on right here. Slide them all on. But I've got so much space here, so much wire, instead of, oops, can I pick it up? Instead of this little bit of room, I can choose to have it as long or as short as I want because I'm cutting the wire, so I get to control it. So then I have all of that. Then I can choose how many beads I want. So like you can see, I used a lot of beads for this. So then when I'm completely done, have it exactly the way I want it beaded, then I'm going to put on my clip, whatever ring binder I want, gosh, I'm sorry you guys, whatever kind of clasp I want. Sorry, I couldn't think of it for a minute there. I'm looking at all this stuff. And then I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to close it, and I'm going to come back up and I'm going to wire wrap it. And then when I'm done, that's when, like I said, this tiny little piece of seam binding covers all of your mistakes. And if you want to hang something, like I hung a heart from here, or I hung these from this piece in here, then I just need one little jump ring, and I can hang it from here, from the top of my clasp, or I can hang it from my wire, and I'm done. But instead of using this and having to use these, all I'm using is this. So that is my tip and my little lesson for the day. If this doesn't make sense, I'm sorry, you guys. I wanted to just show you what I was doing, and then I kind of thought, oh, I wonder if it's going to make sense. Maybe I should add a little bit more. So if it doesn't make sense, send me any questions, and I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. I'm sorry if it doesn't make any sense, but I'm hoping it does. And a little FYI, a couple of these will be going in my 1K giveaway. I'm still working towards 1K. So I'm going to do a couple more colors, and then part of the giveaway is you'll be able to, if you win, you'll get to pick one. But that'll only be one of, I'm just trying to do some teasing about things that will be given away in my giveaway, because I've got about 6 or 8 things right now that I'm thinking about giving away, and I'm kind of excited. So anyway, I hope I hope this doesn't toot all over the road, you guys. Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't subbed, sub please. If you're new, thanks. I'm not usually this crazy and all over the road. I'm usually more prepared. And hopefully you're doing well and staying busy. Keep crafting, guys, and I'll talk to you sooner than later. Bye.